What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Inside 11, and right now we're talking about harmony and goddamn disharmony. So the only way you can possibly even create this harmony with yourself is by you just not even knowing yourself and you creating distance with the self. So that's like you taking a ruler and you creating increments away from yourself. And the only way you would create this harmony with yourself is via you having some kind of belief system, some kind of feeling that you can actually go and perform and present the self in front of people, places, and things, and actually be able to manifest the things that are harmonious with you and things like that. So when you're being this harmonious with yourself, it's obviously something that you feel. It's obviously something that you experience on a day-to-day basis, because the goal of this reality, the goal of the world that the Masons built, the shadow government built, is to create as much distance between you and your higher self as possible. So ain't nobody that run the world wants you to be empowered. No kings of any era, no caliphates of any era, ain't no rulers in the world that want you to actually be empowered with the self. They want you to be empowered via their image of reality. So you need to understand that there is obviously people, places, and things in your environment that are put together through this harmonious arrangement, and us being a large program of minds that communicates with each other, and then having people behind closed doors that actually understand that, we begin to program other people, or just, this harmonious arrangement is created in such a way where it creates a parasitical environment and a very acidic environment, so that the seeds that you plant are not seeds of, being healthy, being wealthy, and being wise with yourself, but it's actually demonic seeds, and it's seeds that, keep you stuck in your feelings, and it makes you not enter your mind from a perspective of using your angelic energy, so you can begin to separate from those old feelings that you put yourself in, via whatever graven image that you have chosen to worship based on whatever value that you gave that thing. Now, there's a lot of graven images in the world. There's a lot of, you can literally just see it. Somebody make a cake on TV. You need to understand your own biology. You need to understand that. You need to understand your own self to understand that, okay, if I eat this cake now, it may create some form of disharmony with myself. I might have a part of my body that's clogged up for that day, 2 or 3 duration. Now, if you make calculations and you understand what you're doing, or you're eating in a state of mind of love, health, wealth, wisdom, and you're actually in love with yourself, and you're not just eating from a place of lust and needing to fill your belly, instead of you not waking up every morning to fulfill your purpose. Because when you don't fulfill your purpose, something else outside of you is gonna use you to fulfill it, from the perspective of it being a metaphysical thing, and from the perspective of you actually having entities with smaller individual identities. Now, they're not the overall universe, which is you are the creator, you are the destroyer, you're the generator, and you're the operator of that universe. You're the director of it. But whenever you place yourself in the situation where you don't understand yourself, you have lack of knowledge of self, you're going to automatically, by default, put yourself in a situation, of an emotional, energetic situation of, you going for the lower octave of emotions. Like, let's say, lust, greed, gluttony, wrath, and things like, because these things are the easier things to do, and these are the things that the world already shows us how to problem solve with. So, if somebody cuts you off in traffic, you get up, you scream, and you yell at them, and you jump out of the car, give them the middle finger, and that's what it is. So there's obviously so many solutions in the world, there's so many solutions in the environment that we don't participate in, just simply because of having a lack of knowing of self and lack of understanding of God, which is basically all possibilities, and the ability for you to generate infinity possibilities rather than you having a finite set of possibilities. Which is also why I was talking about the non-player characters, which is just an idea from video games. When you're walking around in a video game environment, if you're in the village, you're going to meet some animated characters, animated minds that may not know what's going on outside of this village. So you can't necessarily subscribe to the virtues and principles that the world displays in front of you. You have to be able to create your own virtues and principles, or you have to understand what God has already placed in you. And when you understand how these things correlate with each other, you're able to understand how you manifest on a day-to-day basis, because we already conjure, we already summon, we already believe certain thoughts and feelings based on the environment we've seen our whole life. And our environment, for most people, have already put us in a space of disharmony. Now, the reason why God has to put you in so much disharmony, so much discomfort, is so you can get out of whatever feelings or whatever thoughts that you are stuck into, because you're not pushing yourself to change. And whenever you don't change, you just want to stay in one place, you don't transform, you don't cause your mind, your feelings, your thoughts to take on a new shape and form based on the situation. That's like you being stiff. That's like you being non-moving. That's like you being in a, it's like you not vibrating on quantum physics. That's like you not being able to hop and switch bodies in the mental realm. So you got to be able to bring these mental abilities we already do mentally. You already switch thoughts and feelings on and off, but you're so familiar with a particular groups of thoughts and feelings that become a neurological network through some area of your body. You might decide that you don't want to receive feelings from the world, because all the feelings that you received from the world were things that hurted you, or things that haunted you, or things that put you in a space where you feel unable to express, unable to share. But little do you realize is that you've actually shut off one of your capabilities, which is your heart, because we feel things with our heart. And this is actually a type of intelligence, being emotionally intelligent. And whenever you're not emotionally intelligent, you might play out the character of being extremely logical, or you're just going to in general be shutting off one of your portals, one of your gates, and cause one area of your body not to spin or to replicate the cells there in a rate that's supposed to be healthy. That might even become some kind of disease, some kind of cancer for you. So we do this in every area of our body. But the reason why God put us through so much discomfort is so we can become aware of the things that we have done to ourselves, so we can begin to put ourselves in a space where we can actually start to express those things again. So the way we live in harmony with ourselves is by actually you knowing your own position in life, and via you creating an environment that's healthy for you. Because let's say you was raised in the hood. Let's say all you've known was baby mamas getting pregnant. The only thing you've known was the dialysis store down the corners where all moms and pops go when they're 70 and 60. And all you see is people drinking and smoking down the street. And all you see is gang members recruiting people into gangs, and kids dying at a young age for the so-called, however they try to justify it. Oh, you gotta die for the set. Oh, you gotta bring the money back to the set. Whenever you don't do these things, someone is gonna try to put you in some kind of toxic shame position, and that's not something that you want to put yourself in. So naturally, our environment is designed to put us in discomfort and disharmony with ourselves. But the only way you would be put into a situation like that in life, and God will put you in a body so you can experience that, is because you don't know how to get out of these things from a previous body. So God has to be like, okay, so do this class again. God has to be. So what happens when you fail your math class? What happens when you fail your English class? What happens when you don't get a passing score? You either have to do that class again, or you have to quit. But unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, in this life, there ain't no quitting. So you're either going to figure it out, and you're going to stop repeating the same courses spiritually, in terms of the circumstances that you go through again and again and again, through different people, places, and things. Or you're going to be able to finally realize, okay, I must have created an extreme amount of disharmony with myself. I've placed a graven image in front of myself, and now I've actually created so much distance between me and the Father, me and God, me and the overall, me and the infinity. And now I'm just living in this very limited mindset. Because what most people don't realize is that God, or just people, the divine spark in each and every individual is actually inspired by an individual who gets out of their old negative habit patterns, and they're able to put themselves in a situation of change. They're able to put themselves in a situation where they've beautified their spirit, they've beautified their souls. So now they're wearing garments of silver and garments of gold. Now, this is also something that the world might try to do. You might see Kylie Jenner on TV. You might see Kim Kardashian on TV. You might see Kanye West on TV, and all these people are obviously dressed in garments of silver and gold. Now, I'm not talking about nothing physical. They might present to you the physical things of those, but really it's actually a mental aspect. And when you have those mental aspects and you're carrying those things, you're going to be able to stand in front of kings and queens, just like how the Bible tells you, because the physical world itself is not worth much at all. It's really the spiritual essence. When somebody is so mentally, so spiritually rich, when somebody has a mindset of always finding the solution rather than always looking at the problem, naturally this is going to be somebody that stands out of the group, because 99% of people just look at the problem. 99% of people don't have a solution-based mindset, and a solution-based mindset puts you in a space where you are in harmony with yourself, because you understand that, okay, any situation that God put me through, I can also get myself out of, because anything that you can get in, you can get out of just by natural laws of the universe. If you can park in a spot, if you can park your car in a spot, then naturally you can pull your car out again. If you know how to shoot hoops and you get one shot in, then most likely you can increase your chances of getting that shot in next time by practicing and things like that. So there's no such thing as, coincidences in life. There is things called plans. There's things called having a solution mindset. There's things called living in harmony with your design. And whenever you live in harmony with your design and you're able to let go of these things, you're able to understand what's going on with your emotional natures, and you're able to understand what's going on with your logical natures, and you're able to equalize those things, so you have solutions, so you have equilibriums, so you don't get lost on an extreme polar shift on either side. See, this world, this city, the concrete jungle, wants you to be in this harmony with yourself. So you're going to put on TV. They don't show you anything positive on TV ever. It's always going to be people getting shot, the next economic recession, and these are all situations that the government and them good old boys created for you, so they can make sure that they can keep you in a state of fear. Because when you're in a state of fear, it's easier for them to give you a solution, and then you get that relief. They tell you guys, okay, we have this crazy disease and it's spreading all over the world, and the solution for you guys is to take this fluid and have it inside of your body throughout a yearly cycle, so that you guys can start feeling safe again, that you can go out. So you're literally giving somebody permission over your mind, soul, and spirit, and you're not actually giving yourself permission to, allow yourself to overcome, to be victorious. So you're saying you really just want to sit back, be a loser, and keep losing the Game of Thrones, because this is the Game of Thrones. I'm already sitting on my throne, and I highly recommend you join me and sit on your goddamn throne, because you can't leave your throne empty. Your throne is designed and destined for you. It's designed for a particular person, it's for somebody to sit there. We all represent different degrees of the year and things like that. And so when things come full circle, the whole world will come full circle. But this change has to begin one person, one by one. And when one person carries their cross, the other person will carry their cross, and so on and so forth. And the consequences of you not carrying your cross, like literally, the consequences of you of being in this harmony with yourself on a large percentage of the day is you throwing yourself off into the volcano, into the lava. So you're saying you want to burn to an extreme large degree. You're saying you want to be lifted off of the earth into the winds, and let someone else's logic, ways of talking, lift you off of the ground, and not for you to have some kind of ground level to communicate. You might get washed over by a tsunami or a wave spiritually, and you not have a sense or a way of feeling about the circumstances around you. You might not understand how to see something and detach from an emotion, in the way you're supposed to. So we're all learning lessons, to come back to ourselves at the end of the day, because this is what we're all supposed to do. Because once you've been put through enough situations, see, the reason why you're being put through situations, the reason why you're being put through trials, the reason why you're being put through what you call the fire or through hell, because when you realize you are in hell, then you must automatically start planning to go to the heavens. And heavens is a mind state that you create, and from that mind state generate thoughts and feelings that are harmonious with you, that will begin to take you out of your current circumstances and situations. But it doesn't happen necessarily on an instant like it's a miracle. It may, because all you're really doing is you're shifting your paradigm to begin to see new solutions, and to begin to look at your problems differently, and to begin to look at these different ideas being expressed by other people differently. And by you even putting yourself in that state, you're going to start asking yourself some questions about the world that, obviously you question yourself about, your environment, your reality, and you question the structure of things. Saturn, what they built to, keep the world on a, to process people. So when you go to the get your driver license, you're being processed. When you go to the church, you're being processed. So everybody's processing you. But how come you're not taking the time to process your own thoughts and feelings and actually put yourself in a situation that's actually going to be very beneficial with you? And that's why it's very, very beneficial for people to learn their attributes and characteristics. Like, for example, I'm a 2. I have a 426 before my life path number, which is 6. So I know that I need to be very practical. I know that I need very strong foundations and things like that. But I also know that I need to be very, very intuitive and very, very peaceful with myself. So whenever I'm outside in the world and something or someone or some place try to take me out of my intuition, tries to take me out of my peace, I know that automatically I'm going to start generating whack for whack results, simply because I'm no longer in my office, I'm no longer in my throne. So you need to literally fight for your office, you need to fight for your throne. And in this case, you might need to be the biggest demon in the world, you might need to be the biggest angel in the world. But again, it's not about good or bad, it's about being able to understand the cause that you're fighting for and being able to back it up with everything possible, because this is what you're literally here to do anyways. You're literally fighting for your life, you're fighting for your peace of mind, you're fighting to have the highest vibration possible 24/7 365. Because when you do that, you feel great. When you do that, you're in love with yourself. When you do that, you don't create discomfort and disharmony with the self. The only way you can create discomfort and disharmony with yourself is by you choosing to walk away from yourself. And now, why on God's green earth you want to do that? Man, I know why, but I'm not really sure why the everyday average person wants to do that. Because the moment you walk away from yourself, you actually walk away from God, and you actually accepted everything that the devil has laid out for you. Not that the devil is actually a physical, metaphysical entity or deity, but based on the system we are in, they understand how to put you in certain situations. So you create terms and conditions, and you talk to yourself, and you start to agree with these things going on outside of you, based on being like, yeah, you know what? If you agree with the term and condition that you're ugly, you're gonna begin to play out those facial features, those vibratory tones, those ways of talking, those sentences, the grammar, and you're gonna literally have other people agreeing with you. Because at the end of the day, you're stating your life. You're making a statement. You're making your final stance. So don't let your final stance in life be whack. Harmonize with yourself. Find ways to be in peace with yourself and actually understand your particular design. And this is what I'm here to assist you to do. So what I would highly recommend you and encourage you to do is to go to my link tree below. I would encourage you to buy that 7-hour audio series entitled Kingdom Living. The cost is only $200. And I would also encourage you to buy those reports as well, so you can begin to understand yourself. And when you understand your own design, you're able to begin to create activities, create situations that empower you to stay in that design. And then that way, you actually attract more thoughts and feelings that correlate with that design, with that particular situations. So my brothers and sisters, I appreciate you. I love you. And God damn it, ain't nothing y'all can do about it. And we're going to infinitely see you on the next video. You better believe it.